It's just surreal. I mean, this is a small town. This doesn't happen here.
A Sunday morning of worship and time with family turned into horror and tragedy. Good evening, I'm Deborah Knapp.
And I'm Phil Anaya. The deadly church shooting in Sutherland Springs has rocked the small community, the state, and the entire nation. Now take a look. This is a live look of the church as we speak. It's going to be a long night for investigators. This investigation doesn't stop and pick up in the morning. It continues throughout the evening. And here's a look at that. It's about 30 miles southeast of San Antonio. Here's what we know about the deadly church shooting. The gunman opened fire on the congregation at First Baptist Church in Sutherland Springs around 11:15 this morning. At least 26 people are dead. The shooter has been identified as Devin Kelly of Comal County. Now, this is the timeline of the worst mass shooting in Texas history. It was around 11:30 this morning that KENS 5 started receiving calls about several people shot at that Baptist church in South Texas.
And then once we started getting those calls at 1:20, a sheriff reports a man walked into a Baptist church at Sutherland Springs at 11:15 a.m. and started shooting. Then we heard there were people killed and injured. We have team coverage in Sutherland Springs, Lavernia, here in San Antonio, and in New Braunfels. One of the most chilling accounts came from a man who was changing his oil from across the street from the church and came face to face with a gunman.
Yeah, Eyewitness News reporter Sue Kalberg spoke with that man who fought back tears to tell his story.
Terrifying, especially coming, I saw the guy, he saw me, he shot at me, and it was within, my 2-year-old son, and I know most of the people here. I went to church when I was younger here. I grew up in the house here, and many of the people that died, I know them, they're people that I know as family or friends that have always been there.
And then I'll come back to you, okay? Okay, sure.
That was Kevin Jordan, and he said if not for the quick thinking action of one of his neighbors who heard the gunfire, grabbed a rifle, ran out into the street barefooted, and returned fire, this situation would have been much worse. Now that's what happened earlier today. As you can see, the situation is awash in light down there. They've set up a tent city to begin the hard, long task of processing this scene. We will, of course, be here throughout the night as that hard work continues here at First Baptist Church in Sutherland Springs.
Yeah, thank goodness for that Good Samaritan jumping into action. Our thanks to Sue Kalberg for that report. We now go live to Addie Warhardo, who's somewhere near Lavernia.
That's where a local citizen claims he ran the shooter off the road and where police found the shooter dead. Addie?
So just moments ago, they took a second vehicle from the scene out here on FM 539. Now, this is the second vehicle to be taken from this, and it remains a very active scene out here right now. Several patrol cars still out here on the scene where they found that shooter dead inside of that vehicle. Now, Johnny Langendorf tells me he chased the shooter out here after a neighbor who returned fire at the shooter jumped into his vehicle. He followed the shooter from First Baptist Church in Sutherland Springs, nearly 15 minutes out here on FM 539 in Lavernia. Now, a neighbor says she saw the shooter's vehicle lose control right before her eyes.
When I looked over, I saw a big cloud of dust where he had went off the road and wrecked. So I proceeded to go towards Seguin. That's when the young man in the cowboy hat stopped me and had informed me that that man had just been involved in a shooting and to please turn around, that the police were on their way.
Why did you decide to follow and do the chase?
It was the right thing to do.
Now, Langendorf's girlfriend posted on Facebook that he allegedly saw the shooter get shot dead only feet from where he was located. Now, police have yet to confirm that information. We do not know how that shooter died. We just know that he was found dead in the vehicle. Now, a lot of people that I've spoken to say it is a heartbreaking situation, but just like this neighbor out here says, they're pulling together so that everyone can get through this tragic situation. Live in Laverna, Adi Wahardo, KENS 5 Eyewitness News.